Merry meet everyone. This is Houston. It would be the second video in my book review series. Today I wanted to review City Magic by Christopher Penczak, Urban Rituals, Spells, and Shamanism. I think this book is actually really good for those of us who live in apartments, who live in cities, who live in college dorms and want to take their practice with them. It helps simplify. Um, it's not a bad thing. I mean, like simplify your practice as to where to use tools that you have on hand. You don't have to have these special tools to do all these rituals. You don't have. Um, well, let me go back into it. This is basically the book goes on to basic shamanism. It focuses a lot on shamanistic beliefs and kind of Wiccan beliefs, which they're kind of touch and go. I'm not a big fan of Wiccan beliefs, but that's just my personal opinion. With the book that I did find interesting is that in the shamanistic aspect, there's three different worlds, which is what they believe in. There's the middle world, which is what we coexist on and what we live on. There's the upper world, and then there's the lower world. The upper world is kind of like with the sky gods, light beings, things like that. And then the underworld is where our ancestors, like the darker goddesses and gods, our shadow selves and aspects, just things like that. In the middle world, I don't think I said anything, but the middle world in astral is kind of a place where like earthbound spirits would be, where like stuck entities are, and you could astrally help them move on or things like that. But he changed it to where it's not really more of a nature based. He did it more like a city. So if any of you guys are familiar with Penczak's Temple of Witchcraft series, how he goes into meditations and how he goes into the three worlds is he invites you to see the world tree, and you either climb up the world tree to the higher world, or you go into the roots for the lower world, or you walk through the door through the tree to the middle world. This one he changes it to it's your world skyscraper. So you're taking an elevator up to the Sky City, or the Shining City, which is the upper world. You're going through the building, kind of like going through to their foyer, or their courtyard, and going out through there to go to the middle city, or the visible city is what he says. Or you get in the elevator in the skyscraper and go all the way down to their basement and below to go to the hidden city, kind of like the catacombs of like the underworld, which I thought was kind of cool. It's a different aspect of those who are kind of having a hard time connecting to the nature base. You can connect to more of the technological, I guess you could say. He also talks about working with city totems, which is like coming into a new city. Like if you moved away for college and you're a practitioner, coming into the city, greeting yourself to that city, the spirit of the city, making your presence known and building a relationship with that, and working with the spirit of the city would help protect you, or it would help you in your magic with the city, because you're working in flow and in harmony with the energies of that city, if I'm making sense. But he also talks about working with the totem animals in the particular city. Like those who have studied, they know they have like a particular totem animal, and usually their totem animal is not familiar, is like a local animal. I should say it's locally known. But he talks about city totems like cats, dogs, rodents, crows, squirrels, ants, spiders, and even cockroaches, wasps, bees, things like that, working with their energy to help you manifest things in your city, when you're, in your practice. One thing that I found interesting in the book is he talks about not only working with animal totems, but working with mechanical totems. He talks about working with the spirit of a car, or a truck, or an airplane, or a subway as your guardian, or as your guide or as your friend in magic and in meditation, in protection while you're walking, call upon. Let's say you're walking down, you're coming home from school and you're walking, it's late at night, and you wanted something, to protect you. Like, you call on something to protect you instead of what he suggests, instead of calling on like an animal, you can call on one of the most fearsome cars you've ever seen. Either it be I wouldn't say a sports car because that causes people's eyes to turn, or you could just envision yourself in like a police car driving down the road, or like you're in the police car and you're walking, like it's overshadowing you, and that no one usually would mess with you if there's the police around. That's some kind of interesting aspect that he plays on, and I thought that was kind of cool. I myself, I don't live in a city like downtown where I have to walk places and things like that. I do live in a place where I do have to drive to the nearest thing. So, and I have a backyard and I have nature. Um, thank the gods. When I was in an apartment, this was kind of cool. But um, he also brings in magic in the workplace. Like if there's someone in the workplace that's causing you trouble and you really wanted to you really wanted them to stop, and you talk to them about it, they wouldn't do it. There's things magically you can do. What he says, one of the spells that he says is get a piece of paper, write their name on it, put it in an envelope, and staple all the way around with the intention of binding that person or keeping their mouth shut. And you can add simple other things to it, but that's one of the simplistic ideas that he had, which I thought was kind of cool. He talks about work altars, and what to bring, what not to cause a really ruckus if you're in a religious place. If not, he says go all out, if you can. He talks about making an altar out of your TV. Like if those who don't really have room, like live in a studio apartment, don't really have room to have a separate space for their altar or a separate table for the altar, or don't have the funds to. He says use your TV, use a bookcase, use anything you can. You can use even inside of the drawer. There's many things you can make an altar, but one of the cool ones I saw in the book, let's see if I can find it, was he took he used a microwave, like the microwave stand kind of thing, to make a little portable altar. Also, there's one on another. It says TV altar, but it looks like a microwave to me. I like the idea at the bottom one where he has like the lights in the back. I think that's kind of cool to have like little fairy lights or something in the background holding that. But it does talk a lot about like basic Wicca 101. It does talk about like altar basics, what tools are basic, what their correspondences are, and things like that. Which for those of us who have practiced a while, they know, and they're kind of redundant. I know in his other books he's kind of opinionated, and this one's more of a basic, almost like a basic study, almost. There's one exercise in here that I thought was really cool. That's kind of different for those of you for those of us, I should say, who practice divination and have practiced scrying, like into a crystal ball or water or flame. He brings up this idea of scrying with your TV. I thought was kind of cool. It's kind of different, but it does make sense. What he suggests, or what he tells you to do, is to have your TV on white noise. So kind of have it on a channel where there's nothing on, just the white noise. You can have the sound on, or you don't have to. For me, the white noise sound helps me go into an altered state. But have the white noise going on, and like the fuzziness on the TV screen. Relax your eyes, listen to the white noise, think of something you want more information about, and gaze into the TV until it helps you produce images, as in scrying into a bowl of water or a crystal ball or a candle flame would do. I thought that was kind of cool. Another thing that's covered in here is working with technological items in ritual. The only thing he really covers, it says techno shamanic tools, is drum machines, sequencers, synthesizers, synthesizers, stereo, Walkman, tape recorder, TV, and VCR. So some of the basic, and those things can be updated. There's some of the basic things you can add into your circle. Um, um, then he talks about working with different plants and things you can find in the city, or different stones, anything from working with concrete or asphalt to marble to granite to rough quartz, to finding plants alongside buildings like ivy, jade, cactus, fern, palm, working with palm trees and things like that. Um, and then one really cool thing I saw, is he talks about sigils and like working with graffiti, which was kind of interesting. Um, like these guys, the one on this one right here. Um, he says the graffiti symbol to make peace, to help with peace. Thought that was kind of cool. And this one over here, he says is a graffiti sigil for love magic. And the bottom left is one for balance. So that was kind of cool. He also talks about a lot of interesting things. I find the book very informational. Like for those of us who, it's not really a good book for starter, just to help you start off in witchcraft. But it's not really an advanced book either. It's more of an intermediate expanding of your knowledge. There's a lot of great information in there. I think it'd be really cool to take it maybe a step further. It does go, in the end, it does talk about the 8 Celtic Sabbats of the year. And usually a lot of books do that. He does a different spin on them, which I think is kind of cool. But yeah, overall, I think the book City Magick by Christopher Penczak is a really good read. A lot of things are kind of basic, so if you're kind of past the basics, or I wouldn't really suggest reading it unless you really want to read it and get in touch with the city of the spirit of the city. But if you, or even if you want a refresher course, like you just want something to help refresh your memory, maybe add some new ideas to your practice, I do recommend this book. I think out of a 1 to 10, I would say it's about an 8. I would say about an 8. I'm not going to give it an outstanding. I know I didn't give a rating last book, but I'm not going to give this an outstanding because I still think Christopher Penczak is really opinionated in a lot of his books, and that's, it doesn't really go with me well. But whatever. So I hope you guys like the book review. I think I may be doing one more video today, but I'll see you guys later. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any suggestions on what other books you want me to review or have in my series, please leave me a comment down below. Again, or subscribe to my channel. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. Blessed be.